all the way up. Okay, I feel so privileged to be here, and I'm so proud of our kids. So if the contestants would come up, I put your name in the basket, and we'll have one of you pick off more names. So come on up, and so you know it's fair. I have your 4 names in the basket. Come on up, Catherine, Grace, Natalie, and I'm going to have a hard time with his name because it starts with the X, and I want to say the Xander. This is Xander Yoder. This is Grace, Catherine, and Natalie. So let's have Xander pick the first speaker. They're cards, so it's easy to pick. And it is Catherine. Is that okay, Catherine? Second speaker. Natalie Shank. Third speaker. Grace Wolf. And the last one is Xander Yoder. Did you cheat, Xander? He told me ladies first. So you guys can remember the order, right? I can't. Just remember your place, and I'll have you come up then. Where's Rob?
Blessed Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for this day today, Lord, that you have created. Lord, we thank you for each student that is here today to compete in this contest. Lord, no matter who wins or does not, Lord, we know that the words and the thoughts they have prepared have come from you. Lord, they are your children, part of your family. And Father, we just pray for each one, Lord, that you would give them memory and strength and confidence, Lord, that they're speaking the words, Father, that you have given them for this presentation. Father, we ask that you be with the families, parents, and judges, and the students. We ask these things all in your holy name. Amen.
Are there any questions before we start? So we have 3 judges. I'll have them introduce themselves.
My name is Mona Roos, and I'm a board member of Kalamazoo Right to Life.
My name is Martha Paquin. I'm a volunteer with Right to Life, but I used to teach public speaking, and I used to be a public speaker.
Hello, I'm Brian Kincaid. I'm a board member of Kalamazoo Right to Life.
Brian's also a teacher. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Catherine first. Is that right?
Can I move this? Okay. Thanks. Test. Okay. I was just saying. Yeah. I do it now. That's okay. Well, do it this way. There we go. Test. Okay. Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Pope Francis once said, "Every life is a gift and has something unique to contribute to the world." Today, our society is pushing for pro-choice and anti-children, which kills this gift. An article written by The Guardian stated that in 2023, over 1 million abortions took place just in the United States. Today, we are gathered here to support those who have no voice and are denied a chance of life. Abortion is destroying families as it hurts the father, the mother, and the child. St. Paul once wrote, "For you know that we dealt with each of you as a father deals with his own children, encouraging, comforting, and urging you to live lives worthy of God, who calls you into his kingdom and glory." The role of a father is to provide, create a stable household, and lead the family closer to God. When it comes to abortion, society tries to exclude men in this situation as they try to stress that it's the woman's body and it's her choice. Due to this, the role of fatherhood does not fall upon the fathers as the woman decides to terminate the pregnancy. This causes fathers to miss out on the child's first breath, first steps, and their chance of a future. Another situation that men fall into when it comes to abortion is submitting to whatever their girlfriend or wife wants or to pressure them due to fear. A study once was done on 75 men who were in a good place in life as they were in a situation where they could provide financially for the child and they had a good relationship with their partner. The results were shocking as 20 men admitted they wanted to do whatever their girlfriend or wife wanted, and over half of the men wanted their significant other to undergo an abortion. Out of the 75 men, 1 man wanted to keep the child. This is the problem with today's world. Society has become anti-children. Now when the word children is mentioned, many individuals think they're too much work, they're annoying, and that they will affect their future, instead of thinking of joy, love, and purpose. Not only is abortion affecting the father, it affects the mother. John chapter 16, verse 21 states, "A woman giving birth to a child has pain because her time has come. But when her baby is born, she forgets the anguish because of her joy that a child is born into the world." The feeling of joy and love isn't found anymore. The abortion rate is rising as many women don't want to be mothers. Sadly, society advertises and pushes women to advocate and appreciate the option of abortion. So if a woman becomes pregnant and she thinks that it's not the right time, she can drive to their doctor, and within a short time span, the title of mother is stripped away. This feeling of joy and purpose isn't found anymore. Many women try to find joy in materialistic worldly items, which will never fulfill them. In these times, I remember a woman who died to save her child. This woman was Saint Gianna Brettamola. At 39, this mother, who had a large fibroid in her uterus, gave birth to her 4th child, which the doctors told her to abort. She took the only option to save the child, which was a risky surgery, as the doctors removed the fibroid and kept the baby. Saint Gianna gave birth to her child and died a week later due to the complications. This mother gave her whole being so her child could have breath. Saint Gianna was selfless, which is something we need to hear in our society. We need to advocate to others that motherhood is joyful and fulfilling. God will never give us something that we can't handle. In those times where an expecting mother may think she isn't good enough or she can't provide for her baby, God will show her a way. God has a path for all of us, and we must do his will. When one decides to get an abortion, it not only affects them, but it also affects their child. Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5 states, "Before I formed you in your womb, I knew you, and before you were born, I dedicated you. A prophet to the nations, I appointed you." Life begins at the moment of conception. God loves each and every one of his children. When one undergoes the process, in a moment, the life is gone. Many wonder what the child could have become. God gives each and every one of his children a purpose. That child was denied the chance to experience this world. There are hope. There are other options. As Christians, we should inform expecting mothers of the numerous organizations that assist them. One nonprofit organization is Caring Network. Caring Network supports those women and families who have low income and are in need of help. They provide multiple supplies for the baby, the mother, and the father. Additionally, they provide multiple classes and services to help the mother be the best mother that she can be. Another organization is Alternatives. This organization helps women who are in need of help. Not only can we inform them, we can pray for the unborn, the fathers, and the expecting mothers. In our church, we go outside of Planned Parenthood and pray for all those who are involved. Although we get honked and yelled at, we must pray for those individuals. The Right to Life event is another amazing opportunity we have in our community. Gathering together as Christians, we can support God's beautiful gift of life. As Christians, we need to pray for those who have no voice. We should pray for the family as a whole, the father, the mother, and the child. May God bless fathers, mothers, and their children. May God bless you all.
It's not working? There it goes. Next we have Natalie Shank. Natalie, take your time feeling comfortable on this stage, and we need to give the judges a minute too. So, Catherine, you're a senior at homeschool. What's your favorite subject? Spanish? Oh, I love it too. This is Natalie Shank. Natalie is a sophomore, also homeschool. What's your favorite subject?
Not math.
Spring break, not math? Oh, I had that too, not math. We never had algebra, and then I went to Western in '98, and I had to be in math class with all these people that knew everything. And I was kind of worried, but they all helped me with everything. It was amazing. So I'll just give you a minute. There is water and donuts out in the foyer.
Yeah.
I give you Miss Natalie Shank.
What is the right choice? This was the title of an anonymous woman's abortion story from a website called Your Abortion Experience. Allow me to read a bit of her experience. What is the right choice? I can't help but think I haven't made the right one. On April 27, 2018, I had a surgical abortion. I was 13 weeks and 2 days pregnant. I was determined to have this baby before this, but after weeks of being told I couldn't do it, I shouldn't do it, and that it's a bad decision, I went in for the abortion. I didn't have the support of anyone in my family. Even though they say, "I'll support whatever you decide," I could see in their eyes how they really felt. Towards the end of her story, she wrote, "I feel like a piece of me died that day, and I guess in a sense it did. I miss my child. I can't help but think to this day that I have not made the right choice. I feel numb. When will this end?" Think about this. What is the one main thing this woman did not have throughout her experience? Hope. Hope, the feeling that keeps us going, even when we don't think we have the strength to. Hope, that need to keep going, because we want to reach the day when things will get better. In a way, the success of a pregnancy depends upon the hope of the mother. Hope of meeting her child, hope of being able to support and provide for him or her, hope of being able to see the unique individual her child will grow up to be. If the mother is only told that abortion is the step she should take, and that it's an easy solution to all of her physical or emotional issues, then of course she will choose abortion because it's the only option she's being given. Another key thing this woman did not have throughout her experience was love. Allow me to repeat part of the story I just read. I was determined to have this baby before this, but after weeks of being told I couldn't do it, I shouldn't do it, and that it's a bad decision, I went in for the abortion. Love is not simply a feeling, it goes deeper than that. True, honest love wills the good of another. If the mother is not surrounded by people who love her child, chances are she will not love her child either. Love is a huge part of a woman's life, for whether we realize it or not, God created woman with a desire to be loved. That is why it is so important to instill in pregnant mothers a deep love for the child they are bearing. They need caring people, especially other mothers, who can show them the joys of motherhood and the options besides abortion. They need to have someone they can turn to when they are struggling with abortion, someone who can encourage them when they are having doubts, someone to help them when everyone else around them is pressuring them to have an abortion. And I'm here to tell you that I want to be that person, and I'm encouraging all of you to join me. You and I are here today because we have agreed on two things. First, abortion is wrong, and second, it needs to be stopped. Now, to believe abortion is wrong is one thing, but to actually act upon that belief takes a whole new level of courage. We live in a world that is abounding in evil, where evils are placed upon podiums and worshipped as if they are good. I'd like to remind you today of our job as members of the pro-life movement, and I'm going to begin by asking a question for you all to ponder for a moment. Who or what is at the center of the pro-life movement? The answer is Jesus Christ, the giver of life, the source of all hope and love. Our job as pro-life people is simply to be a witness for Christ. We need to be Christ's hands, bringing to the world the knowledge of the value of preborn children and the flawed reasoning for abortion, Christ's feet to walk with those who have undergone an abortion, and Christ's words to encourage goodness and truth in the lives of everyone. You can start today. You may not see a change now, but I promise you will in the future. Be the example of virtue, kindness, love, and integrity that this world needs to see. Spark a fire of curiosity in the hearts of those around you. Make them wonder what you have that allows you to live so happily. And yes, people will come along who don't agree with you. But please, do not be afraid of their questions. You may not have all the answers, and that is okay, because there are members of the pro-life community who can help you. I encourage any of you to take questions or doubts that you have and share them with a pro-life member so that you can secure an understanding of pro-life topics. Lastly, I want to kindly remind you all that when you meet a person who has different views of abortion, or perhaps has had an abortion, that this does not make them any less worthy of your compassion, gentleness, and utmost respect. I firmly believe that as long as they are treated respectfully, when they are honored as a child of God, when they are given hope and love, Christ will do the rest. He will work in their hearts in ways that we could never imagine. As Romans 8:28 says, we know that God works in all things. We know that God works for good with those who love him, with those who are called according to his purposes. Thank you, and may God bless you all.
does anybody have a question for any of the contestants? I always love that name, Grace.
Thank you.
You lucked out of the two to get the prettiest name.
Thank you.
Haha, Catherine.
Ellen. Ellen. Grace Ellen. Yes. Oh no, I have the morning voice a little bit still.
Natalie, do you go to St. Joseph Academy? St. What are your plans for next year?
I'm going to go to Franciscan University down in Steubenville and study history and education.
Do you know Rob is a history major, Brad from Western?
Oh, really?
He wants to major in history. Let's see, we'll ask Catherine. Catherine, what are you going to do next year? You're a senior, right? Marketing. Ed's a salesman. He can help you with that. You get a lot of no's before you get that one yes. That's the best piece of advice. We're almost ready. Are you comfortable?
I think so, yeah.
So the judges had a question. They wanted to know if you guys will get a copy of their score sheets, and I said yes. And they said if you wanted to talk to them afterwards about a one-on-one about how did I do, what could I do better. So that would be good. So this is Grace Ellen Wolf.
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. These famous words outline the basis of the Declaration of Independence and American ideals. Their order in the statement tells a story, but unfortunately, it's a story that can be wiped out before it even begins. Today, in our world, abortion threatens these three rights, these three ideals. The Declaration of Independence fittingly begins with life. Without life, there are no rights to life or the pursuit of happiness. As Psalms 139, verse 13 states, "You form my inmost being. You knit me in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My very self you know. My bones were not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, fashioned in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw me unformed. In your books, all are written down. My days were shaped before one came to be." From the moment of conception, the right to live begins. The Founding Fathers ordered the rights by their importance, for one can't happen without the preceding one. Little could they have known that 197 years later, the right to live was imposed by the passing of Roe v. Wade. Suddenly, lives everywhere came under threat. Decades under Roe have left over 63 million babies dead, lives who will never get dropped off for their first day of school, graduate high school and college, get jobs, have families, and share their light to the world. Finally, in June of 2022, Roe was overturned. But in Michigan, Proposal 3 was passed, allowing the murder of children to continue. This murder is hidden under words like healthcare and pro-choice. Through carefully chosen words and flowery terms, the pro-abortion side has set up a resistance so fierce that it threatens to choke out liberty. Liberty is threatened when life is threatened. With life comes the ability to make the right decision. Unfortunately, where the pro-life matter is concerned, the right to think for oneself is imposed upon. This is evident in the news, where stories favoring abortion are seen in a positive, victim-type way, and stories favoring life are seen as negative and clueless. We can see it in the media, where popular celebrities, movies, and television programs use their status to post or steer the audience away from the truth. I have seen it in our own city. Praying several times outside of Planned Parenthood for an hour has really opened my eyes. A single hour can mean numerous obscene gestures and slurs, questioning why we had the right to be there praying. All of these actions are meant to intimidate us and make us back down. They serve to try to change our minds to match their own, thus interfering with our right to liberty. However, in times like these, it is even more important to remain steadfast in our beliefs and not to collapse under this pressure. The unborn child in the womb is denied any chance of liberty with abortion, as that individual will never be allowed the chance to think for themselves or make decisions. Our pro-life stance not only defends our right to liberty, but also seeks the happiness of not only ourselves, but others. Abortion threatens the right to pursue happiness in innumerable ways, beginning with the unborn child. So many of us can look back on our lives and think of memories, big and small, that brought us joy at the time, and these memories still bring a smile to our faces. Without the chance to live, memories like those will never happen for those whose lives are terminated. The rest of the world will also be impacted without those babies. Within each heart is the capacity to love and be loved, and each child that dies will never have the opportunity to touch the lives of others. One prevalent misconception that people promote is that in order to live her best life, a woman should have an abortion. Only then will she be free to do whatever she wants without worrying about responsibility, and thus she will be happy. However, this lie can easily be refuted upon further investigation. According to an article from Cambridge University, when compared with women without an abortion history, women with a prior abortion experienced a 61 increased risk of mood disorders. Abortion was further linked with a 61 increased risk of social phobia and increased the risk of suicide ideation by 59%. In the realm of substance misuse, the abortion-related increased risks for alcohol misuse, alcohol dependence, drug misuse, drug dependence, and any substance use disorder were all well over 100%, many of them reaching over 200 and 300%. None of these statistics display a sense of happiness. These women will be affected by this decision for the remainder of their lives. Instead of the joyful smile to greet them in the morning, there will only be the empty chair. However, for those who have had an abortion, there is always hope. The Lord always gives his children the chance to begin again. The three fundamental rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are the basics of a perfect society, but we live in an imperfect world. Our world tells us what they think we need to be happy and how to live an ideal life, but this idea is distorted with selfishness and lies. Instead of life, there is death and abortion. Instead of liberty, opposing voices are pressured into silence. Instead of true happiness, we are promised a false, fleeting relief that comes doing what we want at the expense of others. However, as Christians, we have hope that the Lord will ultimately prevail over the evils and misconceptions of this world. As John 16, verse 33 states, "In the world you will have trouble, but take heart, for I have conquered the world." God does not, however, give us permission to sit back. We are called to take action to defend those who cannot defend themselves. Whether praying outside of Planned Parenthood, voting, donating, or offering up a small sacrifice, there is no shortage of ways to protect our unborn brothers and sisters. We only need the courage to persevere to the end and withstand criticisms and insults until the day we can stand and once again say that America is a country that stands for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. May God bless you all, and thank you for your time.
Catherine said that she had gone and stood at Planned Parenthood. That's a hard thing to do. And we've done the life chain, and we've had those people honk and raise their fists and stuff. It seems like such a funny world, doesn't it? So, have any of you gone to the March on Washington? I know you did. Mona went. Rob? Yeah, that's something I would like to do, but I hate crowds and big cities. But we have been to Washington. It's been great. So, how do you look at being a homeschool student? Is that a blessing, or are there pros and cons both ways?
Sure. So I personally really like being homeschooled because
I know Natalie's been in a play. What do you like to do, Xander, for extracurricular stuff? do. He's experienced. And you are a sophomore, so we're having him back. Natalie is a sophomore. We're having her back. Yay. The winner today gets a choice to go to state, and then there is a national competition, and we'll follow up with you on that. Natalie, you did go to state competition. Was it hard? Yeah, that's not a good question. Were there a lot more contestants? Did they seem really hard on the facts? Was that a big point for? Yeah, I think they try to find a niche, and some of them have competed for several years too, so you get tired of doing the same kind of thing. And we have other subjects too that you can speak on, and I know abortion is the number one, and we talk about how that's kind of a settled issue now that it's a federal, going back to the states, that maybe what's the next thing, and you kind of hit on it, it's parental consent and what's happening in schools. I can tell you Portage had a lady that applied for a grant, and she won the grant, and it was to have the transgender changing closet. And Citizens for, I can't remember the club, raised awareness of it, and they fought against it, and the school didn't let them put it up. But it was a closet that they were going to build. I think the grant was $1,000, not a lot of money. They were going to build like walls with a door, and a student could come to school and change in that closet into what their parents wouldn't appreciate them wearing. Now, I graduated in '71. Girls would go to school and the skirts were down to our knees, and it was a mini skirt age, so we'd roll our waists up and have a short skirt in school. That's kind of different than changing your whole gender. So don't think your voice doesn't matter. You know, one student had the Jesus picture taken out of a high school. One student stood at the Washington, D.C. thing and had that Indian Native American beating the drum in his face, and he stood his ground. It's hard. It's very hard. Did I hit everybody? Did you guys say anything about homeschool and... And that's a lie about homeschool, is we're not a community. You're keeping them in the house. Yeah, okay. What do you think about this new thing about the regulation? You are up on it more. You don't want it? Is that a good thing or a bad thing? You don't want them coming and telling you what curriculum you can have in a... Okay. Not just attendance. Because when I heard it, I thought, what's wrong with that? I'm just saying what I think, because I don't know about it. It doesn't really affect me, but I was thinking, what's wrong? Would there be a parent or a set of parents or a home that has their kids in homeschool that aren't really doing the job, that aren't really teaching them? So it is. It so is, yep. Regulating and turning them into telling them what they can and cannot do. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Are we done and I'm yammering on?
I think California is probably the most aggressive state on trying to crack down on. There's always this concern that if the state does not have control, what's going to happen? California, I think, is the leading state that wants to basically outlaw pregnancy care centers. Because from their point of view, these centers, they lie, they deceive women, they don't have trained professionals, they can blah blah blah. That's the next thing down the pipe. Is trying to get rid of pregnancy care centers because they're successful. And people like Gavin Newsom, the governor, and Senator Elizabeth Warren in Massachusetts, they don't want to see success. They want to see abortion accessibility, no matter, right down the line.
So Xander is waiting. This is Xander Yoder. Are we done? We're ready for Xander. Xander, you will want to use the mic probably. Nope. That's good. Thank you. The judges will need about probably 5 minutes or so to tally up the scores, and then we'll come back in. The foyer might have room for everybody. There's a donut, there's little cakes and water. Feel free to just chat out there, and then we'll call you in and make the awards. against her friend, and we only had 2 come that year. It was really hard. So Natalie is being quoted right now as being famous. She said, "We are not competitors, we are encouragers," and I love that. Isn't that just the nicest statement? So I'm going to turn it over to Rob Carr, our vice president, and let him award. And I do want to say, we usually have 3 prizes, but this year we had an anonymous donor that donated a small 4th place prize. So you are all winners, but even if we didn't give you the checks, what if we don't give them checks this year? Would that be okay? No, you earned them. I know that it took a lot of work. We think, I've even said to people when I'm trying to recruit, come on, you can do a 5 to 7 minute speech for a $200 first place prize. Well, it's not a 5 to 7 minute speech. It's a lot of work, and we know that, and we appreciate you. I love the message that each one of you shared. I just want to encourage you, don't ever give up on God. You guys are great. So, Rob Carr.
I do want to say, can you everybody hear me? These kind of competitions are difficult because everybody does so well. You know, when I think back to when I was in high school, I could never have done something like this. I mean, yeah, I could get up before people, I suppose, if I had something memorized like somebody here, but only like a few lines, like in a school play. But to do research, to prepare, to write the material, the essay, I am so impressed, and I am so encouraged by all 4 of you. You have done such wonderful jobs. I mean, it's just amazing that we've got young people who love the Lord and are committed to the pro-life cause, and want to give that talent back to Him. So thank you so much for competing. We have, like Candy says, we do have monetary gifts for all 4 contestants. So no one is going to go away empty-handed, so to speak. But technically, there are 3, first, second, and third finishers. But we do have 4 certificates. So I will go from 4th place to 1st. And like I said, the judging is not easy. I am so thankful that I am not a judge. You know, a person could be in 4th place by 1 or 2 points. You know, it doesn't mean that you failed. It just means you just missed it by an inch. So I don't want anybody to feel bad because it's not one of the top 3. No, it's not. It should not be an issue because you all are winners. You're all winners in my book. 4th place is Catherine Wolf. Congratulations. Third place. Do we have a drum roll? The 3rd place, Natalie Shank. 3rd place. Oh, and your checks are attached to the back. Oh, wait. So we have 2 left. So obviously when I mention the 2nd place winner or the 1st place winner, we'll know who the 1st place winner is. So, and the prizes, the cash awards are the top prize, they kind of drop down over from first, second, and third. But the second place winner is Grace Wolf. Congratulations. And Xander Yoder is our winner. I guess that does conclude our program today. Thank you all. Thank you, parents, for helping your student. You know, we couldn't have done it without you as well. And it's just exciting. Now, this is for Xander. If every year Kalamazoo Right to Life has a fundraising dinner, we raise money for Right to Life in Michigan, and we always, at least almost always, have the winner give his or her presentation at the dinner. So we are hoping, expecting, demanding, hoping that you will be a part of that. And the way the board decided several years ago is the winner gives the presentation, and he or she can have, the whole family can attend the dinner, but 4 members of the family are free on tickets. So there'll be like 5. Xander would be free, and 4 other members of the family. So that's a gift from our board to whoever the winner is. And I know Natalie's family participated in that last year. And actually, last year we were trying to launch an oratory contest in Van Buren County. By a quirk of fate, I've become the president of Van Buren County Right to Life. And they do not have a contest, and they didn't have one this year. We had it set up, but it didn't materialize. But at our fundraising dinner, we had Natalie give her presentation for us in Van Buren, just to show the people this is what it can look like. This is the kind of caliber student that will win, that can compete at the state level. So, and I think everybody was impressed in Van Buren with her presentation. So just take that for what it's worth, but it's giving those presentations at the dinner is good preparation too for the state contest. It is one more opportunity for you to practice. So with that, I want to thank everybody for coming this morning.
There's 300 people at least at the dinner. And Natalie also did Allegan County, didn't you?
Oh, no.
Didn't I see you at, oh, was that bad? I went to all of them, I guess. So before we go, let's thank Andrea Rex for doing the videos, and Pastor Ted Mitchell, the pastor here. Didn't they have beautiful slides? They did that, and they did this setup. So thank you so much. Thank you, judges, and thank you, contestants. Yeah, let's have all, yeah. Well, they should look smart.
You guys can all sit down.